we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Brennan, and then we'll take questions.
Good to see everybody. Welcome. I'm liking your new tables. It's like a very nice setup we got going here. Yeah, sometimes it feels like that. That'd be good, yeah? Like The Voice? It's great to see everybody. Obviously, this is a huge week for us. We've had a great week of work. You know, as we're getting closer and closer to game time, you know, I'm excited. You know, it's been awesome since I've been here, just watching the engagement of the Zona Zoo and what they mean for game day. I know I said it probably 3 or 4 games ago, but like the Zona Zoo really, they control the energy of the stadium. You know, their enthusiasm, the youthful exuberance, the excitement of game day, the big plays, the team coming to the sideline after a big play and celebrating that with the Zona Zoo just makes it really, really special. And so we're going to need a big effort from the Zona Zoo on Saturday night. We need all of them, all 5,000 strong, showing up, going crazy, really, really making it tough on our opponents this weekend. You know, this opponent, we're playing a really good football team. We know that. We have a high level of respect for them, and we know it's going to be a battle. And so we've had a great week of practice, and you know, we got another opportunity to continue to improve and continue to fine-tune the details of the game plan tonight. But we're excited to play. I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you, Coach. Start with Justin and then Troy.
So, big topic right now is weather coming up.
What are you talking about?
Potential rain for Saturday. Just what do you think about that, and have you guys prepared?
The Wildcats are like the mailman, right? You know, we got to go to work. Rain, sleet, snow, doesn't matter. We got to show up and get after it.
Troy and then Chris.
So obviously a very good week last week for Noah, winning Big 12 Player of the Week. But what focus have you seen from the rest of the team heading into this week? Any difference when you're facing an opponent like BYU?
I think when you go through a conference like the Big 12, I think getting too high or too low versus any opponent or for any opponent is a dangerous place to live, right? Like I really think that we have to operate in that the faceless opponent every week. We are like super focused on our process, on applying the necessary detail in the red line to our practice environment, to our meeting environment, so that we give ourselves a chance to play the kind of football we want to play on Saturday night.
Chris and then David.
Trey Smith showed up on the injury report last night, and you don't like to talk about injuries too much, but just anything you can share regarding his status or what's going on there.
Yes, Trey Smith had surgery this morning, and he is out for the season. And we love Trey Smith. He's an awesome player and an awesome human being.
You don't need details, but lower body, upper body.
Like you said, we don't need details.
Okay.
David and then Jason.
Brent, obviously you've spent a lot of years in Oregon where it does rain quite a bit. What have you learned about preparing a team, though, for the environment they might face?
I think the biggest thing about playing in weather is not let weather be a factor. To me, it's about a mentality. It's about your process. It's about how you go into the game thinking about it. And so, you know, spending 6 years at Oregon State, you know, practicing in the rain all the time, all that stuff, you know, it really didn't change the way we played. We still threw the ball, you know, we threw it all over the yard. We still made catches. We still made tackles. We still had ball security. So I think we still covered people. So football is football. And that's the beautiful thing about football. Like I mentioned earlier, the mailman, my mailman reference, but like that's the beautiful thing about football is, you know, nothing stops football. Nothing stops game day except for lightning. You know what I mean? And right now it doesn't look like lightning is in the forecast. You never know. It's an exciting time in Tucson, but you know, so we're, like I said at the beginning, we're excited to play.
Jason and Justin.
When you look at BYU ways to win this football game, what has been your emphasis points this week?
Would you like me to give them the game plan on the air?
No.
Or what?
When you look at BYU in terms of their strengths, like.
Oh yeah, okay. We're playing, you know, the 18th ranked team in the country. They're the number 8 defense in the nation. Offensively, they're incredibly efficient with a young quarterback when they combine big play receivers, right, and really effective run game and a lot of +1 run game with the quarterback. So I would say, you know, you combine great defense with fantastic running back, run game, offensive line play. So this is a great challenge for our team, and we know that.
Justin and Troy.
what do you think about just the culture that they've had over the last decade under Kalani Sitake?
I think it's awesome. And I think you guys, we talked about this the other day. The consistency of leadership matters. The consistency of leadership from administration, presidents, head coaches, assistant coaches, like as much consistency as you can build over time, like you have a chance for the messaging and for there to be great alignment. And I really believe that that's like one of the things that we have here right now with President Garamella, with Desiree, with our coaching staff, is we have incredible alignment. And we need that to build the kind of sustainable football program we know we can build at Arizona.
Troy and Chris.
When you look at BYU's freshman quarterback, what stands out, the poise that he's been able to play with, especially in road?
You said it, the poise that he plays with. You know what I mean? He's very confident out there. And obviously he's a talented player. He can make all the throws he needs to make. And then he's also a really effective runner. He's a big, sturdy, tough kid, right? So you combine that quarterback run game with his ability to accurately deliver the football, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's not playing like a freshman.
Chris and then Brian.
You opened up talking about the Zona Zoo and the energy that they bring. But I think another kind of element of that is the pride of Arizona. We've talked about that before.
Yep.
The Souther Trophy is getting inducted into the Hall of Champions tonight. Can you just talk a little bit about kind of what they bring to game day and kind of the energy and how they drive Arizona Stadium?
Well, obviously you don't win that award unless you are exceptional at what you do, right? And, that thing is really cool, just getting to know everybody in that group, during training camp. I think it was training camp. We brought them, they've been out in the field for like 12 hours, and we brought them popsicles at the end of the day, me and a bunch of the players, and we had a great time just shaking hands and high-fiving members of the band. But we just have so much respect for them. I think that's one of those groups that continues to represent the University of Arizona on an incredibly high level in everything that they do. And to me, that's one of those incredible things about game day. That's why I think it's so special to be a part of game day. It doesn't matter if it's rain or if it's snowing or if it's 100 degrees. Like, there is something really special about being there with your friends, being there with your family, watching the game on the field, experiencing the band, the cheerleaders, the Zona Zoo, the crowd. Like, that is really, really a special thing. And we only have a few of them left, right, this season. So we need to make the most of this opportunity, and I'm counting on the pride of Arizona to lead the way Saturday night.
Brian and David.
The past two games, the opposing kicker has not put it into the end zone. Against Iowa State, you were returning them. This last game, they were fair catch. Is that a game-by-game thing, or would you prefer to just guarantee a spot?
It's absolutely a game-by-game decision.
David and Justin.
Coach, in terms of your red zone defense, and obviously you guys have not allowed a touchdown pass yet this season.
Thanks for the jinx.
I'm sorry. But what's been the most consistent thing for why this defense has been so good against the passing red zone?
I think our defense has really been living the red line. And I know you hear me talk about that a lot, and you're probably tired of it, but I'm going to keep talking about it because that's what it is. It's effort, it's execution, and it's accountability. And that's what those kids on defense have been doing all season, right? Playing with really, really high-level effort and high-level execution in that part of the field leads to good results. And so I think that's one of those things that, I really believe in Coach G. I think he's done a great job. The defensive staff has done a great job. I think the team as a whole really has a clear understanding of what red line is, what it looks like, how it should look. And the more that we can lean into that and the more we continue to play with that kind of mindset, I think the better we're going to play.
Justin and then Jason.
So looking at just the last few weeks, what impresses you about how Noah has just gone about just the day-to-day process and just improving?
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about Noah is that there's such a high level of consistency with his approach to being a good player. Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change because he had a good game. It doesn't change because he's had a bad, because he didn't play as well as he wants to. You know what I mean? Or he had a bad day. Like, he is consistently really, really intentional about his process, how he gets ready for games. He sits in the coach's practice film review with all of us in there, the quarterbacks do. And they just kind of hang out and watch, because he wants to hear everything that's being talked about and everything that's being discussed. He's really just a special guy.
Jason and then Troy.
So Danny talks about it all the time. We talk about it. Luke talked about it the other day. With the accountability, is that something that you have to preach to the players, hold each other accountable? Is it something that someone stepped up in that role in terms of leadership, or how did that whole process kind of come about where these guys are holding each other accountable more?
I think that's the hardest thing for this generation of young people to do, is to hold each other accountable. Like the peer-to-peer accountability is the biggest challenge for the young men that we're coaching right now. And I think that's one of those things that as we've gotten here and we've built more trust, we've spent more time together, we have been through more fights together, that our level of trust with each other and our understanding of how important it is to hold each other accountable has elevated because of those. Really, time helps that, but it also helps when the best players on your team are driving it the most. And so when guys like Noah Fafita or Genesis Smith or Traden Stukes or Trey Smith or, Ked recently, it doesn't, those high-level players, right, when those guys are the ones leading the accountability in terms of both how they model the way and how they hold their teammates accountable, now you have something that's really exciting.
Troy and Justin.
Third down offense has kind of been a struggle throughout the year. Last time out, you guys went, I think, 5 for 12, a little improvement there. Where do you think you guys need to improve to help win the margins on third down?
Yeah, it's in the margins, that because it's been right around that, 40, 50%, right? So last week was 50, the week before was, right below 40. So you're talking about 1 or 2 third downs that we got to improve on, and that's where the detail comes in. That when you're in that situation, everybody has to be extremely focused on doing their job. We don't need people to make stuff up because sometimes in those moments, players want to make a play, right? They want to show up and be like, no, I got us the first down. Well, really what you did is you just made it harder for us to get it, right? And I think we're doing a good job of everybody understanding the importance of that, just the detail and the discipline in that situation of the game.
Justin and then Chris.
Is it fair to say that LJ Martin on their side is maybe the best running back that you guys have faced this year, and what makes him a talented player?
I think so, and I think the thing that makes him really the best guy that we've faced is the physicality that he plays with. You know what I mean? He's just a really physical downhill running back, and he's not one of those guys that's looking to make you miss. He's looking to run you over.
We'll finish up to Chris.
Just kind of without giving away the game plan, but just like a point of emphasis on offense and defense, for this week, kind of something that you guys are focused on in practice and you're excited to see executed on the field.
Sounds kind of like the game plan. Jason just looked at me. This is what I think is going to impact us, okay? Number 1, the turnover battle, all right? First and foremost, the turnover battle. The second thing is how we handle the weather, right? And then when we play, do we play with the required physicality to beat a mature, consistent football team like BYU?
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Bear down.